Hey guys, welcome back. In this video I want to talk about the latest game that I managed to beat, and that game is New Super Mario Bros. U for the Nintendo Wii U. And let me just start by saying that I'm gonna give like a mini review of the game since I already completed it, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about the series, the New Super Mario Bros. Series overall. So I'm gonna start by saying that again, this is by far, in my opinion, the best in the New Super Mario Bros. Franchise. And perhaps the reason why, it's because Super Mario World is one of my favorite games of all time, and this game shares a lot of similarities between the Super Nintendo game and this entry. For instance, the overworld in Super Mario World, you had this one huge unique map that you can travel between one area and another, and this game also has an overworld that is very well designed and just adds to the whole experience. Another thing is, I guess, the art direction. As you can see here in the background, you can see these pointy, like rectangular shaped mountains that resemble a lot to the Super Mario World art style. So maybe I'm a little bit biased, but since Super Mario World is one of my favorite games, it's my favorite platformer of all time, so maybe I'm a little bit biased when I say this game is the best in the series. But I think overall also the level design in this game far excels the previous entries, which are these two guys that I'm holding right here. I do not have the 3DS New Super Mario Bros. 2 game that came out a few months ago, but I'm fairly confident that this game will still remain my favorite, the Mario Bros. U. New additions to this game were they brought back the baby Yoshis that were present in Super Mario World. So you can use each baby Yoshi depending on the baby Yoshi color. They have their own unique abilities that can aid you throughout the levels. Also, there's a new power-up, which is like this flying cape that makes you glide over a great distance. And overall, the story is the same. Peach gets kidnapped by Bowser, or actually she gets imprisoned in her own castle this time. So Mario is pretty much thrown out of the castle, and you have to make your way back and free Peach from the clutches of Bowser. So, simple story. It's always the same, but the main essence of a side-scrolling Mario game, it's always the platforming, and this game does a very good job. The physics are a little bit tuned and geared towards the Super Mario World physics, which in my opinion still remain the best in any platformer. The physics in the previous entries that I'm holding right here were a little bit on the slippery side. It's hard to describe, but they almost resembled a little bit more towards the original NES Mario game. So I'm really happy that they tweaked the physics a little bit, and it works out pretty well. As far as the what this game offers in regards to the gamepad, the gamepad becomes really a fun tool to use when you're playing the challenge mode, which is another great addition to this game. And essentially in challenge mode, you have different modes like multiplayer. You have this challenge, rush coin mode or something like that. But there's this one mode where one player has to hold the gamepad and put blocks in order for the player to progress through the level. And it's really fun. I already tried it, and it works extremely well. It's super fun having one player put the blocks and aiding the other team player, and the other player uses the Wii mode to do the regular platforming. So it's really fun and adds a lot of replay value to the game. The way that I pretty much tackled this game is that I was playing the story mode, and whenever I would finish a world, I would go back to the challenge mode, play a few challenges, try and get a gold medal, and then go back to the story mode. So this game does a beautiful job of keeping things fresh in a way. But overall, it's by far in just leaps and bounds better than the previous two entries. So far, so much that Even though I beat both of these games right here that I'm holding, I never went back to 100% them. I never went back to get all the star coins in each level. I was just never motivated. It just felt, once I beat the games, I felt satisfied already. Whereas in this game, I beat the game. It took me like 4 days because I was addicted to it. I just played it hours and hours until I beat the game. And now I want to go back. In fact, I'm doing that right now. I want to get all the star coins in each level. I want to find all the secret exits. I want to find beat all the levels in the secret world, and so forth. So this game, once you beat it, you're not satisfied. You just want to keep playing it more and more. And I'm gonna do that by try to get 100% in this game. So, but overall, I think, speaking on the franchise as a whole, I think Nintendo it's been very conservative, and this is one of the criticisms that this game is getting, and the franchise overall is the art direction. If you take a look at the screenshots of each of the games, they're all very similar. They all share an art style that it's way too similar, and the same can be said with the soundtrack. All the songs are very similar, and it'll be nice if Nintendo steps up and they decide to perhaps add something more original to their next side-scrolling Mario game. I think especially these two games here that I'm holding, they're missing that magical effect that games like Mario Brothers, the original Mario Brothers, or Super Mario Brothers 3 for the NES, or Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. Every time you played, for the first time, those games, there was something magical about them. They were so radically different from each other, yet familiar in many aspects. The level design, just the overall colorfulness of the worlds, and each previous and old school Mario game was a unique experience. And these games, they feel way too similar to each other, so that wow factor is not present. So I'm hoping Nintendo, for the next game, they change something, hopefully radically, because the art style, like I mentioned, the art direction, it's very similar. All three games feel the same, but fortunately this game in particular has some improvements in the physics and on the level design that separates it a little bit from the previous entries in the series. So personally, I had a lot of fun with this game. Highly recommend it if you have a Wii U, or if you're thinking about picking a Wii U. This is definitely a game. I know a lot of people were starting to get tired of the series, but trust me, this is a game that it might look similar, but it has a lot of things going on for it to make it a little bit different. And I don't blame people when they say that they're afraid that this game will look similar, because the overall feeling is that there's a franchise fatigue, both from hardcore Mario players to casual gamers, because the games, they all look too similar. So Nintendo is definitely taking a conservative approach. I guess both of these games, they sold millions of copies, and I guess Nintendo's like, well, if it's not broken, why fix it? Which is a little bit of a shame, because we all know they're very creative, and if they really want to make a new experience for us gamers, they can easily do it. But yeah, this game, like I said, it may look similar, but it's much better in my opinion to these two games. And if you have a Wii U, make sure to get the game. The story mode is about 10 hours long, depends on your skill. There's also some cool Miiverse integration that at the end of each level you can leave comments, or you can leave hints to other players. So if you activate the online functionality, other people can see your comments. So it's really cool. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.